Greetings folks, Dan here, and welcome back to another edition of Kaiju Showcase. You know, I've seen some reviews for this creature online quite a bit, but I've not seen one of this specific mold, which is really kind of shocking. But we'll go ahead and jump in. And I'm sorry, that's not a pun either, and I really think about that now. Anyway, let's just get into this. We're going to be looking at, the transparent monster, Neronga. Before we talk about history, we'll just talk about the monster a little bit and why I decided to go with this one. This is the first mold of the monster. It does have, arm movement, both arms, both legs, tail. It's what you'd kind of expect from this. Sometimes I'm actually kind of surprised the legs move. I figured it might not, but not too terribly bad. The color's neat though. I like the color. I like the purple and the yellow and the green. And he actually got a bath before this video because he was a little dirty, and not from me. It was from who I got it for. Some of you collectors may know when you say you order a figure from somebody and there's just maybe you didn't realize it, but it's been sitting in dust for a very long time and it's like almost matted onto the toy. Yeah, I had to give him a good long warm soak and take a toothbrush to him to get most of it off. So gently, of course, so not to harm the paint or anything. But this one is actually looks like it's molded in this darker, it's kind of purple vinyl, and it's got the yellow and green added on to him. This mold, or actually the specific figures from the 91 to 93 Ultra Monster set. The mold, this is actually the last year, was the last release of this mold. It actually goes all the way back to 83. Neronga has actually been present in every single major Ultra Monsters release. That's not specific to a series that Neronga is not in. Every major release Neronga has been present, so I would imagine a fairly popular character. Even the original Marusan line from 66, 67, there was a Neronga. So, I mean, it's a really cool monster, don't get me wrong. I just, it's kind of neat that it's so prevalent. We're going to bust out the yardstick. The figure is a little short, but we'll just kind of show you here. Because, of course, this is 6 inches, and this is more like probably less than 5, likely. But we can actually, I'm going to see if I can pull all these together in a shot. Like I said, I haven't seen this mold very much. I always see this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a cool mold, but as you can see, it's just, we don't need yardstick anymore. You're not in this video. The new one's far more robust. Very, very much so. And I like the new mold. The new mold is more accurate to the show, even the original show. It really his original appearance. The older one, not so much, but it's got that delicious stink of nostalgia to it and vintage that I really, really like. But I can see why most people go ahead and get the newer one, but the older one is awesome in its own way, and I'd really recommend it if you can get it. I'm surprised you don't see more of them around. I do see them every once in a while. The more common one is the light blue, green, dark blue. I see that was actually released in 3 sets. And then one set was a different color, and then it went to this one. But no, it's always really cool. Neronga is always available. If you like the newer mold, get the newer mold. That's not what this review is about. But one cool note I'd like to make for the newer mold, there was a special clear, kind of transparent version, like when he becomes invisible, with a few little color highlights that were released in 98. It was a special edition toy, and that's one I'd really like to have. But until one pops up for a good price, I probably won't be getting it. But yeah, really recommend the older mold. Really neat, and it just looks really nostalgic.
Neronga のやつ、くたばったらしいな。
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history of Neronga. This isn't going to be very long because I'm sure most of you people know about Neronga. He appeared in the 3rd episode of, the original Ultraman, Sally Forth Science Patrol, or something along those lines, was the name of the episode. He was supposed to be a sleeping creature that was underneath the ground. I think it was Hoshiro or Hoshino. I think it was Hoshino. Stumbled across him. He's one of the young kids that was always around the Science Patrol in the earlier episodes of the series. He kind of stumbled across him in this well that had a passage that led out to the coast, and the beast woke up, and really supposedly it got larger off of feeding off electricity, but if it eats enough electricity or it consumes enough electricity, it becomes invisible, which is really kind of neat. But it can't sustain that forever, the invisibility, and I imagine it's because it consumes a lot of electricity, like electrical energy in his body. So, but it does feed on electricity, and it does fire a little projectile at the front of it. Of course, Ultraman inevitably, you can imagine what happens with that. Aside from that, other appearances for Neronga that I know of was Ultra Galaxy Kaiju Battle. Can't remember the episode off the top of my head, I'm sorry. It was in the first series, maybe episode 4, 5, or 6, I can't remember, one of those 3. And he was in that episode and was a pretty prolific bad guy, and actually was pretty strong. In the original series, he wasn't very powerful, it didn't seem. Ultraman kind of buzzed through him pretty quick, but in the actual newer series, he was actually fairly powerful, killing Gudon in the episode, so it was really kind of neat. Aside from that, not a lot of other appearances, but as I said earlier, still a very popular character, has always been represented pretty much in every big lineup of Bandai toys. Lastly, let's talk a little bit about availability. Like I said, I assumed there would be more of these on the market. I don't see a whole lot of them on eBay very often. Every once in a while you see one. It's mainly the newer mold. But buy one if you can get one. The price is still the same. I don't see anything special about the figure since it's been released in just about every set. Around $10 bucks, $15 bucks for it. Tag probably a little bit more, especially for older versions. But they're out there, they pop up. I don't even remember when I got this one. It was like a couple years ago, and I don't remember how much I paid, probably around that price range. Again, I have a terrible memory, and I don't really recall. But I know it was before I moved to Tennessee. But spoiler alert, I didn't notice this until I was doing this video. If you look in the background, Gessra fell over on his face. Don't know when that happened. But anyway, back on track. I'm trying to pad out the video now. That actually is going to be the end of this review. This was a little bit of a short one, but Neronga, there's not really a whole lot to say about the guy in my opinion. He's a really cool kaiju, and this mold I really like. As I said, it's just there's a very vintage look and feel to it. Even the paint job, especially. If you prefer more realistic, get the newer mold. Any of the newer molds got really good paint jobs, so I'd really recommend any of those. But again, we'll wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm hoping to have, I'm ordering a new package here in the next couple days when I get paid, so I'm going to have some neat stuff coming in the mail, and I got some things I've picked up that weren't through unboxing that I'll be showing off in that as well. I've been getting a lot of other toys here and there around garage sales and flea markets, so we'll show those off then. But again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.